space, got to the ball first. And the Lions, they go out to an 8-0 lead and they justify the option of taking the tap. Well, Fremantle now into a position where they really have to regroup. Certainly a team that you'd never write off and never say they're out of the game. They can score tries in bunches. South Perth, they score the first two of the afternoon. To beat. Over to the other touchline. Moves in. Touch judges don't move, and up go the flags, and South Perth, they go out to a 10-0 lead on the Cash Converter scoreboard. They're in the fuel to go and play Premiership round 4 game. It's the undefeated Roosters. Under pressure early. Trailing. Perhaps for the first time this season. I didn't see the game that where they beat the Journal-Up Giants, but I think they might have been behind early against North Beach as well. But in any case, they've been fairly dominant to start the year as Norton gets out of dummy half, runs into Mitch Kerr, ruled that he was square at marker. Now to Green. A typical South Perth set after points. They get through the set. Lewis puts up a testing kick. Kemp won't want anything to do with it. He wants a kind bounce. He gets a kind bounce. Goes over the dead ball line and gives the Roosters a 7-tackle set. He certainly never looked like he was in position to take the catch. There, Kemp. As Parkinson takes the first carry. Pucky. Sonny Kerr gets into dummy half and Wilson Wiley met solidly. He's got a bit of a point to prove. Last week against his former side, he got shortened up quite a few times. Kemp comes towards the middle of the field with Mitch Kerr. Once again, it's been a pretty solid set, but very forward dominant here, the Roosters. They work the short side. Edwards tries to craft a kick back in for Sonny Kerr. To beat, though, well positioned. Diffuses any danger. The chase from Sonny Kerr, though, good. Makes the tackle around the bootlaces of DeBeek. They've got a job now working it out of their own end. List comes in for a carry. Perhaps not the biggest back three for South Perth, so they really do have a bit of work to do. Daniels, he's been impressive early. Scoring that try, it was a bit of individual brilliance. Green bounces away from Day. Day comes again, no, finishes him off. Still gets to his feet, plays it quickly. From pretty much right on the 40, but certainly no angle on it. Tatoa Parkinson goes around Jared Smith. Can't get past Hocking. Lumu Parky, he's another player that's worked hard early. Edwards, Tagakakabo, getting a little bit wider of the ruck. Sanders waits at dummy half. He's got options on both sides. Goes to Delane Edwards. Now to Day. Day runs into Fletcher on an edge. A very flat pass there for Mitch Kerr and a good solid contact there from Halpin. Now to Edwards. Edwards goes to the line. Well, he takes them on. Delane Edwards now. Towards the line. Offload. Wilson Wiley trying to burrow his way across. Gets over. Well, he's actually tackled short. And it was the last tackle, so it'll be a handover right on the goal line, right in the goal mouth. A difficult position to work out of for South Perth. They get a little bit wider off the post, but they only make about a metre from that first play. Some claims for a high shot there from Wilson Wiley. That's pace that's slow to his feet. Noble out onto the field. As they go to their bench to try and get some air back into the lungs. Halpin runs into Wilson Wiley. The ball comes free. Well, this is a little bit more like the bus we all know and love. Great contact there on Halpin, forces the ball loose and earns his side an opportunity to narrow this gap 20 minutes in. South Perth currently leading 10 points to 0 on the Cash Converter scoreboard. Edwards from the scrum win has the ball free, takes the tackle of Lewis. Lewis with a little bit of a leg pull there at the end. Well, silly footy. That's a pretty easy penalty to give. Take the quick tap, and Mitch Kerr able to run 10 metres before he gets to the defensive line. Now Takakakabo wrestled down by Daniel Green. No way through there. Edwards working a short side, holds the ball in two hands. Day pulls through the defensive line, but didn't have the ball, and another penalty for offside. South Perth weren't back the required 10 on that side of the field. They're able to build pressure on the back of some poor discipline from the Lions. Taumia looking to use his footwork. They're sweeping across now to this left-hand corridor. Gets the quick play of the ball. They work down that way. Wilson Wiley again spinning towards the line. Sonny Kerr waits at dummy half. Looks out to Kemp. Kemp fires it across to Edwards. Edwards, stop, go. No one with him. Daniel Green's not going to just let him stand there and dance. Comes up and shuts him down, and another penalty. Well, you've got to think a warning on the run at least has got to be coming here shortly. That's multiple penalties back-to-back down in the red zone. Referees tend to not look too kindly on that. Wilson Wiley, well, he deserves a try, and he's got one. Oh, no, he's short. And now, Kemp dancing through the middle. Sanders to Butler. Butler dummies to the outside. And he's got there. I didn't want to go off early again. This time, the referee points to the spot. Touch judges raced in to have a chat to referee Solomon here. I'm not sure exactly what that was about, but it is a try to Dwayne Butler. Well, they had to break sooner or later there, the Lions. Gave away several penalties, back-to-back sets, and eventually they cracked. But it is clear that the tactics of Fremantle really trying to soften South Perth up through the middle. It's a much more forward dominant attack than I'm used to seeing from the Roosters. Really punched through the middle again and again and again. Eventually they reap the reward going through the middle with Dwayne Butler. Who's dumming on the outside, holding the defence up momentarily. Got that one-on-one battle they've been looking for. Pulls across to score the Roosters first. not the sweetest strikes there. So it's 10 points to 4 on the Cash Converters scoreboard. Lions up by 6. 15 and a half minutes till the break. Down towards Edwards. Day's going to be the one that gets it. He goes across to Edwards. Now to Butler. They come straight back towards the middle of the field. And Wilson Wiley has the ball. Tagakakabo. He keeps the legs driving. Again, Daniel Green able to win the ruck, roll him over, put him on his back and slow him down. Wilson Wiley with his second run of this set. Well, when he eventually does get a breather, he's going to have earned it. Taumia. Dancing, steps off the left. Put down by Noble. Now Butler. Butler spinning and twirling towards the halfway line on tackle 5. Once again, no real shifts apart from the kickoff. They just get to their kick, put it down the other end. Now we'll work for the error with their defence. High completion footy from the Fremantle Roosters as Liss runs into Day. Pace gets out a dummy half. Now Keating onto the field. In a dummy half, tipped on with Young. His first carry. A couple more bench players out there as Wells Talamaveo kicking that one right down into a corner. They need a good chase. Kemp takes the metres that are on offer. Not much more. At the moment they look like two very solid, very well drilled teams. Getting into a genuine arm wrestle here at George Burnett Park. Sanders, Cooper Sanders, out onto the field. Tagakakabo. Ball comes free and knock on is ruling. The scrum right on the halfway line. Towards the all-important period of this game. Wells Talamaveo tips that on. I think that's Ben as well that's out there. Ben Wells Talamaveo onto the field. Brothers do tend to combine fairly regularly as Keating looks to engage the markers. Still out there into a running forward roll. DeBeek goes to the line. Out the back to Lewis. Dummies goes. Good sliding defence on the inside there from Jesse Day. Makes the tackle right around the bootlaces. Now Norton going across field. Had a player on his outside, but good contact from Sanders down low. Drove through his rib cage. Tackle 5. DeBeek. Well, he looked to put a grubber through. I think he just threw it on the ground. I don't know whether he got his foot to that at all. That'll be a handover whether he was tackled or he kicked it or not. It just looked like the ball stuck to his hand there, Harry DeBeek, as he tried to put it on the boot. Jesse Day working down a short side. Both teams have been solid defensively. Keating sort of came back through the middle of the ruck. Lucky to get away with that. Tagakakabo running in behind the ruck. He runs into the markers. Got away from Green, but Green came again from behind to bring him to the ground. Tabakanaka off the bench. Wearing jersey 8. It's started from the bench. That one comes free. Well, that's all part of the new interpretation from the referees. If you go to put the ball on the ground and you put it onto the opposition player and lose it, the decision's going to go against you more often than not in 2023. Certainly in the past that would have been a 50-50, may have been ruled obstruction in the ruck and Roosters might have got a penalty out of it, but certainly not this season. Wells Talamavao. Ben. He has a bit of a ball plant himself there just after Tabakanaka got done for it, but he gets away with it, able to maintain control. A bit of a sloppy play the ball. Keating picks it up into Daniels. He wanted to play it a bit quicker than he was allowed to. Now with the beak. Lewis again holding the ball. It's Pace running a good line, but the Roosters read it well. Norton. To Wells Talamavao. To his brother. Daniels puts that down cold. The Fremantle Roosters pick it up. It's allowed to play on. To Toa Parkinson into space. Daniel Green comes across in cover. He gets away from a couple. To Toa Parkinson still going. Well, I thought there was a knock on there for the Roosters, but it's been allowed to go, and a zero tackle all the way down the other end of the field. Great counter-attack. Butler and the Lions offside and a penalty. The referee must have ruled it was off all feet from Fremantle. I thought they bobbled that and trying to clean it up, and it was a knock on both ways, but the replay will certainly tell the story. In any case, you can't go back and change it now as Sanders. Now with Takagakabo. Pass across to Edwards. Edwards sweeping around the back. Here's Kemp. And they got their timing wrong. That'll be a penalty to South Perth for the obstruction. Ruled to have caught that one on the inside shoulder there for Aura Kemp. Always a very, very difficult one for referees to pick up live. We see them in the NRL quite regularly. When the bunker's got super slow-mo, high-definition replays, but for a referee to be able to pick that one up live, very good work from Ben Solomon. Young. Tucking it under the wing and trucking it forward. 7.5 minutes left here at George Burnett. The Lions leading 10 points to 4. Keating. Player got in his way. The kick, low raking kick. I don't think that was played at all by Fremantle, so it should be a handover. Once again, giving up field position, just not quite getting the execution right. We've seen a bit of that from both teams in the last couple of sets. It's been a gruelling first half, maybe fatigue starting to play a factor. Pomare is out on the field. He looks like he's gone to dummy half. For Taumia, put down onto his back. Butler goes to the line, goes out the back to Sonny Kerr, now to Edwards. Had to sort of stop and catch it. Now looks to do some dancing with his opposite number. Gets it out to Jesse Day. The defence adjusts really well. Edwards really ran Day out of room. Now Sanders, well, saw him coming. Keating charged up out of the line. Rocketed up to make the tackle. And he's forced the error. Well, there should be more back slaps here for Royce and Keating there, I think. Well, he charged up from that A defender position, came in at the angle. And hit Cooper Sanders and forced the error. Giving Lions a golden opportunity. They're pretty much all their players out to this right-hand side of the scrum. Goes to List just for the hit up. Taumia just to put a suplex on him and smashes him into the mat. Wells Talamaveos gets out a dummy half, spins, flick out the back. Now they've got some room to move. A chance down this touchline. The pass in field. It's picked up by Norton. Norton will score. Well, I don't know whether that hit any target that they were looking for, but the result is the same. A try to the South Perth Lions. Well, they stripped them down that right-hand side. Terry Cameron Ramia sprinted down the right-hand touchline. The pass in field. I don't think he was looking for Caleb Norton, but that's the man he found on the bounce. Stepped in field. The Lions extend their lead as we're heading to the final 5 of the first 40. It's been a tough, gritty, grinding sort of game. Type of footy I'd expect the South Perth side to really enjoy. Doesn't feel quite as natural for Fremantle. South Perth, they've certainly been able to make the most of their opportunities. Now moves in. Some good height on it. Raises the flags. South Perth go to a 16-4 lead on the cash converter scoreboard. 3 minutes left until half-time. Has come on the Roosters as well, just before the break. Gets underneath it. Come forward and take that as Keating. And Wells Talamaveos. Shoulder, says the referee. Some cries that might have been high. Young. Centre of the 40-metre line. Again, not anything expansive from South Perth. There's no wolf put down onto his back. He holds on to Onasimo there. Comes back to Beak. Making low sort of kick. It's down to Kemp. Just returns it straight into the defensive line. Final 2 minutes. Haven't seen a trick shot fired from Fremantle so far today. See if they've got any. In this final 2 minutes. Edwards getting the dummy half. He's usually the talisman. Any fancy stuff is to be done. Just a hit up there for Parkinson. Once again, a hit up for Tabakanaka. He flicks it out the back with the try scorer, Butler. Making good metres. Now they set off down a short side. Wilson Wiley just out on an edge. Edwards, again, he looked down a short side, didn't like what he saw. Came to Sonny Kerr. He puts a forced kick in under pressure. It's not a great kick. Ends in the hands of Green. Now with pace. They look to attack from their own end, the Lions. Taking that one forward. Now Green. They're hitting this edge. To the final minute. Looking for a penalty. They want one last attacking opportunity. Side there for pace. I don't know if he was expecting that. From a standing start. Sanders trying to come up with a one-on-one strip. Unable to get the ball. Have the spiral torpedo bomb from Wells Talamaveo. He did well there, keeping the feet moving there to Kent. Looks at this stage like this might be the half-time score. Jesse Day bounces away from two of them. Gets back towards the middle. He's caught high. A little bit of afters there from Wells Talamaveo as well. Going to be a bit of a wrestle in the middle of the field. Still have to play out this last play. It comes to Delane Edwards. They just tap and go. Edwards fires it back to Jesse Day. Says, do your best. He's got no one in support with him. You think he's just going to take the tackle here, Day? And he will. And that will be half time. Pretty meek there in the end. But what has been, it's been that kind of half. It has really been fairly conservative play throughout from Fremantle. They really look like they want to get into the grind. So far, it's not working for them. It's the South Perth Lions at half-time, leading 16 points to 4. Tries to Kieran Pace, Corbin Daniels and Caleb Norton. While for the Roosters, Dwayne Butler crashed over in about the 25th minute. But generally speaking, it's been South Perth's half. They'll be happy heading to the sheds as they have a chat. We'll take a break here at George Burnett Park and we'll be back with the second half shortly. Well, g'day ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to George Burnett Park for the second half of this round 4 fuel to go and play Premiership match between the South Perth Lions and the Fremantle Roosters. At the moment, it's the top of the table Roosters struggling. Down 16 points to 4, the home side. Put in a spirited showing in the opening 40. They'll want to go on with the job. Fremantle to receive. Get first use of the ball in the second half. For South Perth, we'll see them join Fremantle on points. Up to six competition points. Quite going to make up the difference in differential, although certainly not beyond them at this point. First and foremost, they just want to get the 2 points. They want to get the victory. He's got his tee now, ready to go. We're underway. Simo Takakaka. That's the first carry of the half. Worked incredibly hard in that opening 40 of Delane Edwards. A little bit wider here. This is like what we used to see. South Perth, they will wait to it. It's really been impressive. It's been the defence, the way South Perth have been able to slow that ruck down. Carry there for his first involvements in the game. This is what Fremantle like to do. They want to get onto the front foot. Beekman have allowed them to do that. Across now, Kamara. Sanders. Stands with the fend into the chest of Young. Stands in the tackle. Wanted to play the ball. He just dropped that. I don't know whether he played it. In case they play on, Edwards puts the ball down into a corner. Wants to drive to peek over the sideline. Can't do so. What a bad spot to start your set. jam in as the Lions have to work it out of a corner. Nice strong run from Noble. Found his front, got a quick play, the ball is allowed to do it. Wells Talamaveo dummy, went himself. A couple of players outside. Really deep. Green. It's on to Lewis. Lewis comes out the other side. Fends away from Sanders. He had an unmarked pace inside him and takes the tackle. Well, he's bombed that one. Tackle 5. Defeat. Puts boot the ball. And has gone out on the full. Nice from Lewis. He had an unmarked here and pace. Screaming for the ball. He would have run away and scored his second for your life. Dummy and went for the tackle. Went to ground. Early in the second half. The centre of the world, and Kane Peetman's twice really ducked underneath that. They've got to set their target area a bit lower for Peetman. Now Butler, another Kanaka. Great footwork in the straight, tries to get the pass around the corner. Comes out. Slapping it out. He's definitely at the arm free, trying to get the pass away. Massive moment in his head. Yeah, 10 minutes, 13 well. This could really bring the Fremantle Roosters back into this contest. They want to tap it to get on with it. Another Kanaka. Over the top. Sonny Perth, go, take them on. Towards the line, great defence over the top. Going from dummy half, Hucky. Desperation defence from Cameron Ramia. Takes care of the ball, makes sure he can't get it across. Fires across the lane entrance, he's getting inside Green. They've got numbers out here. Kamare, they've just got to let the ball do the tour. Day gets it out wide, they go for the corner. Try! The Roosters have numbers galore out there. Able to get it done. I'm pretty sure that's Chris Turner that just scored the try for Fremantle. He could finish in the corner in the end. Turner. Straight away reduced to 12 men. Lions caught short out on that right hand side.
Gets up, goes again, gets away from another tackle, he's all the way up to the 40-metre line on the first fight. His footwork now is really causing some problems. Here's another play, off the bench of Jane Beekman. All of a sudden, the Roosters are starting to find their thrust. Solid contact and counter there. He's out to the right, that's the arms that keeps the tackle off. Kemp dummies, goes! Little Green holds onto him, along with Young. Controls the ruck, so they get some semblance of control back. Takabol with a set one. On tackle 5, Edwards to dummy half. Anything could happen here. They work down a short side, goes to Kemp. Hamare. Pass goes up, List picks it up. Time they can step with the ball in hand, the man in the bench. At the left, and then the ball put down by Pacey. Not even a good break there. Get a cool break like that. Break it, break it. Hurry, link up, hurry, hurry, get up. This is copy the ball through. Well, that's a crafty play from Luke David, Will Talamavayo. He sprinted around to get to that left-hand short side. Gets the ball from dummy half, takes it right to the line, drops the ball on the boot. There's absolutely no defence to that winner. The Fremantle had to stay up. Perfectly weighted kick. Here and this gets to the ball first. Out first. Down and in. Still managed to score a try. I thought he tried to blow they have to score at least 3 times. Score line, like 7 minutes still left on the clock. Well, went off the upright and waved away.
Same again, eh? Same again, Sal. Completion. Game on it. Full security.
Joey Allen.
Get up with it. Wait with it. Watch it.
Way to go.
Very, very too much. Yes, yes. Release him. Corner. Up, up.
But they always had him under wraps. Lane Edwards just kept going sideways. The Lions were happy to let him do it. They up 3, 4, 5 in the tackle, picking up. Dennis Noble on gun. Roosters forced his way back into this game. A few errors today, but not to work hard. Not sure of the task. Force the error. Starting to really physically assert themselves on this game. Pass goes backwards and a juggle. Takes guys to pick it up, and then he almost comes out the other side. Almost created something from a horrible one. Takes his own kick. Play all around. Royce and Deedy. Impressive off the bench. Let's come on. Now an error. The ball's come free as rules have been ripped out.
We're watching the same game.
Minutes left in the game, 12-point mark.
Wilson Wiley knocks away from the first. Halpin puts him away. Now Butler. Kemp fires it out to no one in particular. Parky has to go back and clean it up. He'll just settle it. To the shoulder of Wells Talamaveo. He's been more than capable defensively. Talmia almost gets through the other side. Again, just holding on around the bootlaces. Butler out the back to Kemp. Kemp to Edwards. Edwards again tracking across field. Gets to the outside of Lewis, but Daniel Green covers up the little stumble. Second effort from Green is allowed to go by the referee. Kemp, he's going to rake this one across field. Taken in the air. Taken nicely there by Corbin Daniels. Certainly some question marks as to whether the Roosters chasers were onside from my position up here in the commentary box. All clear from the touch judges who are right in line with it. We're at a slight angle here. Ben Wells Talamaveo. Takes that hit up. Looks like he might be heading off for a rest. Lewis gets on the outside of Sanders and a desperate tackle from Jesse Day. Just holds on to him. He's looked dangerous at times today, Lewis. Fletcher, well, they got up quickly there. William Parky makes the tackle. Wells Talamaveo kicking from inside the 40. Looking for the 40-20 to Toa Parkinson. It's not going to quite have the angle. Just straightened at the last minute. Didn't take the South Perth turn. Parkinson bringing it out of his own end. Good contact there Norton down low, picks him up, drives him. Jared Smith involved as well. Kemp. Bring down low. Edwards. Tips that one on to Tamia. Stands in the tackle. Gets it offload. Well, as the referee called held, so it goes back to him. Edwards, great step right at the line. Delane Edwards, well, he's trying to do it himself. He'll get up, play the ball quickly. Peakman wanted to go out of dummy half straight away and has knocked it on. Well, it was a classic case of thinking about what you were going to do with the ball before you actually had it. There were certainly some lines in the ruck that made it more difficult to pick up, but Wilson Wiley, a big swinging arm into the head of Liss. This is set up. He certainly wore the brunt of that. Julian Wilson Wiley. This is a big defensive set now for Fremantle. And trying desperately to force their way back into this game. Daniel Green comes out the other side. The Freo crowd screaming for the forward pass, but hasn't come from the touch judge. Out to DeBeek. They come out wide. Daniels takes them on. He bursts through three of them and slams it down to score his second. Well, I am loathed to write the Roosters off at any given point in time because I know how quickly they can put points on. They don't seem to have any answers today to the defensive shape of the South Perth side. They've tried to go through them in the second half. They've tried to go round them. Nothing has really worked. They've only been able to put on the 2 tries. One of those tries coming when with South Perth reduced to 12 men. He hasn't had an easy day with the boot. Wouldn't be his highest percentage day of all time either. Expecting these conditions, he's gonna get one from out wide. Is this the one? No, it looks like it's hung out again. Neither kicker has really struck the ball overly well today. 24 points to 8 is the scoreline on the Cash Converter scoreboard. 15 minutes left to play. Coming in, looking at the two teams today. I feel that the Lions just look the more settled lineup. Might be able to pull off the upset of sorts, because every game is really $1.90 pick'em. Well, the Roosters have looked the dominant team so far. Getting up quickly there, Takakakabo. Flip the short side. Run. Jaden Hocking. Keep working the short side with Daniels. Daniels around the corner past to Norton. Talmia stayed alive. Worked hard on the inside. Make the tackle. They come back towards the middle. Halpin settles. Runs into a solid shoulder. That might be Wilson Wiley. They exchanged pleasantries there at the ruck. David Wells Tolomoveo. That one's spinning. That'll dip away from Kemp, but he does well. And there's been a couple of really nicely struck kicks. Would be difficult for most fullbacks to take, but Laura Kemp's been solid underneath them for the most part today. Parkinson. Locking and Wells Tolomoveo. Throw into the turf. Tagakakabo. Finds his front, quick play the ball. Sanders. Butler gets forward on tackle 5. Kemp just going to dab that, looking for the repeat set. Harry de Beek will clean it up. They'll try and trap him in the in-goal area. They will do so, will they? Eventually goes to ground, and it will be a goal line dropout. So Fremantle, they get another set of 6. Talked about their propensity to score quickly. 12 and a half on the clock. Now is the time where they need to start if they're going to. The Lions, they've just got to keep doing what they've been doing. They've got to continue to play footy themselves. Certainly don't want to be shutting up shop. He kicks that one down. Coming back at a rate of knots is Jesse Day. Wilson Wiley. Strong carry from him. And a quick play the ball. Sanders works down a short side. Dummy. They get it out wide. They're in again. I think there was Tane Peakman setting that up out on that right-hand side. Mike Pomare that scored it. So they've had a bit of success out on that right-hand edge in this second half. Kemp drops it over. I think that kissed the crossbar as it went through. Wasted no time. It's 24 points to 14 on the Cash Converter scoreboard. Eleven minutes left. 10 points. Certainly a game where South Perth have been the better team for 70 minutes. Now we come into that all-important final 10. Waking low kick, sits up, and they've come up with a football through pace. Well, a short kick-off was not in the script. With South Perth leading by 10, not trailing by 10. But it's worked out a treat for them as Young maybe looking to put this one to bed once and for all. Comes across Ben Wells Tolomoveo. Straightens off the right boot. Norton to dummy half. Goes to Smith. Smith grabbed and put down by Tagakakabo. Out to Lewis. Lewis short ball to Green. Green and Edwards, the two veterans, come together. Edwards holds on. De Beek looks to roll that one in behind. It's off feet, dived upon by the Roosters, and play on. So they're still alive. Murray goes to Day. Day's put down by the first tackler. It's Norton. Edwards fires a long pass across. South Perth right up on it. Daniel's the man that makes the tackle. Talmia. Looking down an arrow short side, and they're kicking from well inside their territory. It's on the last play. The ball comes back to Edwards. Edwards across to Kemp. Kemp's going to put boot to ball. He goes straight down the hay little. De Beek plays it off the feet. First tackle will be on the 40-metre line. 9 minutes left, and Delane Edwards charging up out of the line, wants the one-on-one strip, but Pace does really well, holds onto it under intense scrutiny from Delane Edwards. Green. He looks to spin away from a couple, wants to get to his feet and play the ball. Halpin had the lunge forward to take it, does so. Norton goes to Young goes back in behind the ruck. Tackle 5. Again, this is where they look for some game management. Luke David, Wells, Talamaveo. Cameron Ramia takes the ball on the full. Daniels gets the ball back. Wells, Talamaveo. Luke David again, a flick pass back to Cameron Ramia. The ball sits on the ground. It's still the final play. They've got it, still got it out to Lewis. Can they shift it across to the left-hand side? They look like they've got numbers. Lewis again holds onto it and dives with the ball. Well, they had a 4-on-1 if he throws the pass. The Roosters able to get on with it quickly. Kemp. He's looked dangerous at times, Tyson Lewis, but there's been probably at least two tries that he's completely botched. Now Edwards, Takakakabo. Just get the outside shoulder there of Ben Wells Talamaveo. Doesn't help him though. Edwards on the run around, comes out to Parky. Parky steps infield, looks to draw in a couple, gets through two defenders, needs to find a support runner, can't. Norton comes across, makes the important tackle. Plays the ball, Parkinson. Talmia, wild, loose pass. Edwards goes back and cleans it up. He's got plenty of support runners outside him. Again, it hits the deck. Tabakanaka, he could be dangerous in this situation. That pass was about 3 metres forward. The referee's playing on. The touch judge has called it forward. Well, the touch judge for your life called that pass forward. He stood back, made the call. The referee has overruled him. And has grounded in the in goal from South Perth. Well, that was a strange bit of play. I just stopped because I saw the touch judge stop. The referee kept following the play. I don't know whether he didn't hear the call or he's just overruled the touch judge. We have said that it looks like he's had some problems with his communications equipment. In any case, it's a goal line dropout for South Perth. Parkinson, he takes it. Kakabo is the workhorse to take the first hit up. Edwards, Wilson Wiley, 20 metres out, plays it back to Sanders, goes to Edwards to Kemp, skips, Goosies, comes back infield. Had Tabakanaka with him but couldn't get the ball to him. Edwards goes right to the line. Through a bit of a hospital pass to Wilson Wiley. Never really on. Well, they've tried plenty, the Fremantle side. In South Perth, they've remained resilient. Throughout this contest, a couple of times they've been able to find some space on the right-hand side, but they really haven't had a great deal of success. Despite a number of opportunities, and they've gone through a number of different attacking plans. The Lions, this is looking at the moment like it will be a win they can be really proud of. They'll earn a drink or two tonight if they can hold on for this remaining 4.5 minutes. Jared Smith. Young picked up, went to the horizontal and not beyond it before being dropped on the ground. DeBeek from inside the 40 once again. Can he get the turn? Totoa Parkinson's back there to clean it up. He dives and slips over as he gets to the ball. They're right down in the corner. I think in any case, time will beat them here, Fremantle, even if they are able to conjure some sort of miracle. From 90 odd metres away, Tabakanaka comes out the other side, but hanging on to a bootlace there is Caleb Norton. Wilson Wiley. He's tried to bash and barge his way through all day. Edwards out to Day. Day again busting tackles up to his feet. Working a short side with Edwards, Delane Edwards. Well, this is the side of the field where they've had some success. A late offload. Tabakanaka puts it into the in goal. Over the dead ball line. Well, I'm not entirely sure why it's coming back for a handover. I would have thought the 20-metre restart would have been the greater advantage for South Perth. Two and a half to go. Lions, Ben Wells, Talamavo. Drive him backwards to the 10-metre line. Young takes it forward. They're going nowhere on this set. They've used up all the air in the lungs by the looks of things. Just to Beak inside to Halpin. Halpin into space. Space closed down pretty quickly as Lewis fires one across to Liss. Liss has got a bit of room to move. Comes back infield, goes around in behind Pace, and it is ruled as such. Running in behind his own player. Woods kicks it into touch. Now with Day. And one of the Roosters' best. As is this man, Julian Wilson Wiley. The Lions has been a really good team performance. It's hard to isolate one player that has stood out. Kemp goes out to Totoa Parkinson. He's rounded up, put down. Once again, time called off with 55 seconds left. It's a swinging arm and 10 in the bin for Luke David Wells Talamavo. So he'll get the early shower. You get to use the hot water. Take a Kakabo. A settler. As the Roosters look to have the final say in this game. South Perth, their defence has been great throughout. Can they hold on for this final set? Butler plays the ball. Talmia to Edwards. Edwards to Kemp. Kemp bounces away from Pace, but Pace just continues to pursue, and they lose about 15 metres. Sanders, they work down a short side. Tabakanaka puts boot to ball. Liss takes the catch in the slips, and the South Perth Lions, they'll hold on for a very, very well-deserved 10-point victory. Daniel Green tackled by the South Perth Bull Ant there as he hits the deck. Final play of the game. Keating met hard, put away, and the full-time siren sounds. And the Lions, with a great victory at home, the home crowd really enjoy it. A 24-14 win. They had to work incredibly hard to get it. Fremantle, undermanned. They'll come back. They'll come back bigger and stronger. certainly at full strength. I still think they're the team to beat this season, but South Perth, thoroughly well-deserved victory. And they show their credentials for 2023. They move level at the top. The NRL WA fuel to go and play Premiership ladder. Still be Fremantle on top on for and against. But the day belongs to the Lions. A 24-14 victory. A double for Corbin Daniels, who was terrific. Kieran Paish with a runaway try against the run of play early. Kieran List with a try and Caleb Norton tries as well. While for the Fremantle Roosters, Chris Turner, Mike Pomeroy and Dwayne Butler, their try scorers. South Perth winning 24-14. That's all for NRL.com's coverage of the Western Australian Premiership this week. We'll be back next week, and I think we're back at South Perth for another game. I think the Lions up against the Joondalup Giants. See you then.